了一群被美国家庭所收养的中国孤儿，他
成立了一个文化之旅，我们把他们带回中国，让他们看到，原来中国是这样的。
为了中国天津一群残障的孤儿，他
开这个儿童福利院呢，真是很想帮助这里的小孩子。
他来到呢，给小朋友有个家。
He was using his expertise and his reputation in business to do good.
Encouraged me to want to follow in his footsteps and to do likewise.
他希望这些孤儿经过细心培育之后，有一天都能够
健康到一个程度令很多家庭都觉得是可以领养他们，成为他们家庭里的一份子。
世上只有媽媽好，有媽的孩子像歌步，投入媽媽的懷抱，幸福享不盡。
愛可以跨越種族，親情可以衝破人間血緣的關係。這些被遺棄的中國孤兒，將要在美國的領養家庭裡開始他們生命的新一頁。自從1992年中國政府修改領養法，容許外籍人士收養國內孤兒之後，美國人就開始到中國領養孤兒。到了2005年，美國人領養中國孤兒的數字更高達8000，差不多在3個被領養的兒童中就有1個來自中國。早年被領養的中國孤兒，今天已經成為了青少年。在領養家庭的細心培育下，他們已經融入了美國的社會和文化，而對他們的出生地中國，因為缺少機會接觸，難免會產生陌生的感覺。美籍華人楊應瑞 Kenneth 對中國的孤兒特別有負擔，他在1994年創立慈親基金會，幫助中國的孤兒在美國找到他們的家。而在2006年 Kenneth 更舉辦了一次文化之旅，讓三藩市灣區部分的領養家庭能夠有機會到中國。
特別成立了一些文化之旅，比方說我們帶100個人這些呢都是領養家庭，他們的孩子呢都在10歲以上了。我們把他們帶回中國，讓他們看到原來中國是這樣的，不是他們想象中那樣的黑暗骯髒起碼讓他們對中國有個正面的感受抵達中國之後呢，我們也帶他們參觀孤兒院，參觀一些少數民族的學校，他們就更加感謝領養他們的父母要不是他們的父母這麼愛他們呢領養他們，給他們受教育的機會和生活的環境等等可能他們現在的生活未必像他們在美國生活的那樣好。我們看見需要幫助他們在心理上不會覺得是被中國拋棄，或者是被他們親生的父母拋棄，沒有人愛他們。
在中國領養了3個孤兒的 George Baker 把握難得的機會，一家4口一起參與這個這麼有意義的活動。
I had a chance to watch the kids, observe how my children felt about the country that they had come from. We did get a chance to visit the hometown of the 2 boys, the place where I imagine they were born there too. I don't want them to ever forget their past, and if they could remember their parents, I would like them to do so. And Elias remembered his father. His father, he said there was a fire and he fell out the window. I think trying to get away from the fire in the house that they were living in. And Michael doesn't remember very much about his past. He knows he lived with his grandmother, and then his grandmother couldn't take care of an extra child or another child. Arlene was also, she was left abandoned in this place, and so then she was brought to the police station, and the police station brought her to the orphanage. So some of the memories aren't that good. I know when Elias first came here, he wasn't very pleased with China because he did feel rejected. And but now I don't think he feels rejected. I think he understands a lot more, and I believe all three of them realize that they're better off here than they would have been there. We could only give out what we had, basically, and that was our love, and try to make sure that all the children had everything they wanted that we could, give to them. As far as anything in return, I just hope they never forget me. Like they haven't forgotten their mother, too. We do go to the mausoleum, and we do bring flowers there.
这次杨应瑞再次踏足中国的土地，是有一个特殊的使命。Kenneth 很希望让车上的美国人认识一般天津的残障孤儿。
后面的这栋楼就是我们的和平之君儿童福利院和康复中心。这栋楼有4层，共有5000多平方米。我们觉得这栋楼可以让我们照顾起码100个有特殊需要的孩子。我们叫和平之君，是希望我们好像和平使者那样来到这个地方，用爱心照顾这里的孩子。
这个儿童福利院是由杨应瑞所创办，位于天津市武清区的杨村镇。这一座美丽的院舍已经成为镇里面的一个地标。
来到这个地方开这个儿童福利院真是很想帮助这里的小孩，而且这群小孩呢不是一般的孤儿，他们都是有特别需要的孤儿。我们觉得他们不单在身体上需要我们帮助得到康复的机会，甚至我们希望呢他们可以康复到将来可以比较自立，能够有多点行动，多些自由可以多做点事，甚至可以读书。但最重要的是呢能够自立到健康到一个程度令很多家庭都觉得可以领养他们，成为他们家庭里的一份子，让他们有个永远的家，这是我们的心愿。我们这里的天使像同样表达我们这个心意就是我们到这里来照顾这些小孩照顾得很好，好像鸽子一样已经能够飞行我们就让他们飞出去。我们不想他们呢一生被关在孤儿院之内我们给他们一个家，一个温暖的家，能够自立。
It's just amazing in terms of the amount of care and dedication of the staff, and I've even spoken with the physicians here in terms of just being able to care for these kids. A lot of them, 70% of them, have cerebral palsy, and it's a severe condition that leaves them very much disabled. They really cannot even do basic things for themselves. Some of them are very poorly functional. But I've just been very impressed that they've been really cared for very well.
The thing that struck me most when I first came in is the level of care in all different areas that are given to the children. Everything from just the developmental aspects of their cognitive life and development, but especially in terms of development relationally. When I first saw the kids, they were very engaged, not only with the people that helped them, but also with us who were visiting, and reaching out to us, smiling at us, waving us, wanting us to hold them. And to me, that's such a strong indication of the kind of care they're receiving here, the kind of love that they are receiving here that allows them to feel so safe.
Being here, I feel love. I mean, that's the first thing I think of is the warmth, even though it's chilly outside and it's in the winter time in China, but the warmth I feel in my heart seeing all the children, the volunteers, the dedicated professionals that work here. I'm so glad that I've had the opportunity to come.
The place is very well resourced. The number of staff members and the ratio of staff members to children is extremely high. I am particularly impressed by the philosophy of this orphanage, Prince of Peace, that is invested in rehabilitation. I think the ultimate goal is to orient and socialize the children here to become functional members of society as they grow older, and that's very impressive.
和平之君儿童福利院是美国慈青基金会跟中国福利机关共同合作的成果。这一个中外合资的孤儿福利项目，由筹划、动工兴建到正式投入服务，过程很不容易。
在中国呀，所有儿童的福利院呢，或者是孤儿院的工作呢，都属于民政部来管理。就是说除了政府外呢，其他人包括国内机构或者是海外慈善机构都不能参与。幸好呢，我当时在美国华人社区中算是有点声望是社区领袖。这里的中国领事馆呢很想帮我达成这个心愿因而呢介绍我到中国民政部跟他们接触讨论海外华侨也特别支持我。我用了4年时间说服了他们他们也修改法律让我呢可以跟他们合作。我是一个海外华侨在中国政府来说呢，是头一次允许别人跟他们合作开办这样一间儿童福利院。所以我用了差不多4年时间呢去说服民政部和让他们去修改法律另外呢用了2年时间去兴建这座儿童福利院当时因为刚好爆发 SARS 疫症所以拖延了时间最后呢我们在2003年的秋季开始接了几个孩子进来，尝试开始运作到了2004年暑假我们便正式开幕运作了。
为了更有效地照顾这群残障的孤儿，杨应瑞跟世界宣明会携手合作，一方面为儿童提供护理服务，同时也为这里的员工给予适切的训练。
我主要是替小朋友做康复工作，培训这里的老师，给小朋友做康复的训练，每半年给他们做评估，和做康复的计划。
最感动的，我想是小孩子感动了这里的工作人员。我觉得从起初对这些孩子的异样眼光到现在看见他们把这里的孩子当作是自己的孩子一样，很疼爱他们这令这里的100个小孩变得很特别很特别，也影响到本地人怎么看待有特殊需要的孩子，也看见外国人怎么样帮助中国的孤儿。
看见小朋友一点一滴的进步，这是令我最开心的事儿。看见小朋友的笑容，也鼓励我继续做下去的原因。
记得早期我们刚开始不久有一个小女孩患了心漏症，当时呢就觉得我们如果要帮她做手术，就得花几千美元到底要不要做呢？ 在我来说呀，我觉得每一个生命都是同样重要的，即使花几千美元，如果有机会就应该去试，让他做手术。我们说呀，钱方面不要紧，我们送他去做手术，结果呢，他做完手术后2-3个星期左右刚好张德培这位世界网球健将和我进去参观探望的时候呢。他当时已经很活泼了已经能够用汤匙敲我的鼻子我们就是这样让别人就看得到就算一个这么弱小的生命都是宝贵的，我们要尽力去抢救我们的爱心、精神和态度很需要成为别人的榜样。
作为一个跨国公司的总裁，杨应瑞平日的工作已经非常忙碌，但是仍然积极投身社区福利事业。他这一份热诚和动力是来自他所笃信的基督教信仰。
我作为基督徒来说呢，我觉得其实我们所有的好处都是神所赐予的。我怎样把我的所有，包括我的生命我的时间、我的精力我的影响力，当然也包括我的金钱，怎样很好的去运用，用在最能够帮助其他人的事上，让他们也有机会享受到神的祝福。
You could see the results that he has had with children in these special orphanages. Very few people would spend all that time and earn money and give it to these orphanages that way. Most people would say, well, I'll become a millionaire and then I'll watch it grow, but not Kenneth. Kenneth would always try to do something for the kids.
我觉得神祝福我是有个目的的，他要我好好的做一个管家，好像是他交托这些东西给我，叫我好好的利用。就以孤儿院这件事很多人做慈善工作，其实最难的不是给钱比较上来说呢给钱呢反而比较容易些要捐钱建一个慈善的项目然后呢付上心血去策划怎样做得好以后的跟进和以后的发展呢很多精力和时间的投资其实呢都是很重要的。
Ken is modeling to me and to all of us the love of Jesus Christ and Jesus' heart for children. And that's so true throughout the whole Bible. Even in the Old Testament, God talks about having a special kind of compassion for the widows and the orphans. And Ken is living that out in his life. And this place is a light for the gospel because it's demonstrating right here in China what kind of impact the gospel can have.
我的生意仍然在发展中我忙得不得了我还要鼓励我的同事参与合作很多事我们希望我们的每一分钱呢慈善基金的钱呢都是用在慈善工作上，所以到现在呢我们没有一个全时间的职员，全部都是义工。
And I will dedicate my all， 讓我天天緊握主心意，分享基督捨身的愛，一生。
Very impressed by somebody that has been successful in the corporate world and that it has a very humanitarian side.
But the fact that he was using his expertise and his reputation in business to do good for other people, that stood out more than anything else to me about Ken.
just watching Ken interact with these children, we could really see how much he really loves these kids and how much he cares for them.
It just really touched my heart and encouraged me to want to follow in his footsteps and to do likewise.
Ken 的这份爱心呢，祝福了很多的小朋友。他来到呢，给小朋友有个家，
让神的爱临到这群小孩。这里呢，也有我们写的圣经金句。神应许说，我们不会撇下他们做孤儿，神会看顾他们。我们有几节金句表示我们对他们的心意。因为神爱我，神将他的独生儿子，他所爱唯一的儿子的生命都赐给了我。我去爱其他人，这又算得了什么呢？我觉得做慈善的工作一定要从心里发出，这才是最重要。有时候不是你说多少，别人是看你做了多少。甚至我们对自己圣经也教导我们说，左手做的不应该给右手知道，就是说是不让我们去夸耀自己
因着从神而来这一份无私的爱，令杨应瑞用尽各种方法，叫这一群孤儿能够找到自己的家。
譬如说，现在超过6岁的小孩他们有机会呢白天呢由老师教他们英文因为呢想到他们将来可能被领养到西方人士的环境中他们多懂些英文呢，让他们比较容易适应，教他们读书教他们写字好像普通小孩子上幼儿园那样对那些比较大但仍然没被领养的呢他们就把他们放到寄养家庭当中放在一些阿姨的家中每一个这样的家庭呢，可能照顾1个或者2个小孩白天呢他们可以回来晚上呢他们就回到一个家让他们比较有家的感觉。我们不想让他们长大以后仍然一直在人数众多的儿童福利院里面呢。还有一些很令人兴奋的事就是最近这几个月已经在欧洲和美国差不多有10个家庭在我们这里领养了小孩我觉得这对我们来说呢，就是梦想成真我起初去开孤儿院的时候呢到现在看见小孩子能够去到正常家庭中得到照顾这些西方人的家庭呢，实在非常疼惜他们呢这对小孩子呢是一个很大的福气。
杨应瑞的兴奋和雀跃就充分表达出他对中国孤儿这一份深厚的情。Kenneth 无私的付出只有一个目的，就是要学效上帝深爱世人的榜样，努力将福气和盼望带给有需要的人。基督教的上帝是看顾孤儿寡妇的神，他的爱遍及各个阶级、地域和种族。你愿意进一步认识这一位慈爱的上帝吗？请上网或致电恩语生命热线跟我们联络，愿神赐福给你。
雲無意散去，望遠方清楚今不再問如何進退，靠主的恩典放開一切思緒，我盡洗掛慮。
蘋果怎麼說？
我天天緊握主心意，分享基督捨身的愛。
ยังเปล่าๆอ่ะเปล่าๆอ่ะครับนี่ใช่ใช่ใช่